The Millionaire Fastlane is a bestseller book written by DeMarco, who claims that you can become rich fast, and I can guarantee that this is not one of those scammy books that promise you to be rich overnight. This is one of the most interesting books I have read personally, and it changed completely the way I see money. If you're a person with a business mindset that wants to become rich quickly, enjoy life while still young, and create a business that you love, then this video is for you. In the first part of the video, I'm going to summarize the strategy of the author on how to become rich quickly. On the second part, I'll talk about the 5 rules each entrepreneur should follow. According to the author, there are only 3 financial lanes you can take. 1. The sidewalk, 2. The slow lane, and 3. The fast lane. People that take the sidewalk, they live today in expense of having a better future or security tomorrow. As the author explains, the ones that walk on the sidewalk, they see debt as an asset, and they prioritize expense over savings. Even more important is the fact that the ones that walk on this side have a life of instant gratification and long-term plans. It's important to mention that the ones that are on the sidewalk are not necessarily poor people, as there are a lot of rich people like athletes and celebrities that make a lot of money and keep spending money like if there's no tomorrow. The second type of financial road, and the one that most people choose to take, it's called the slow lane. The ones that go by this lane, they sacrifice today in order to have a better future, and it's the opposite of walking on the sidewalk. This is also a bad choice in my opinion, as the wealth should be enjoyed while you are still young and have the energy, not decades later after working. People on the slow lane, they sacrifice their Monday to Friday in order to enjoy the weekend. This is the equivalent of exchanging $5 for 2. The other problem with the slow lane is that they wait for the long-term investment and the compound interest to make them rich. However, the compound interest makes the biggest part of the job during the last period of time. When you have a look at the table that shows that investing $10,000 with a 15% interest will produce 2.5 million in 40 years, that sounds great. However, most of the people don't realize that their investment is only $600,000 in 30 years and $160,000 in 20 years, which means that a big part of the money is generated on the last decade when you are too old. Do you really want to drive a Ferrari when you are 65 years old? I am sure you want to drive it while you're still young and full of energy. However, it's really hard to do it while you are on the slow lane. The author says that having a job will limit your wealth, and also the experience you'll get will be limited. You'll learn way more managing your own business in a month than working for someone else for a year. Also, you do not have control on your income because your salary depends more or less on other people. The author also warns the readers about the so-called financial gurus, which they rarely get rich by following what they preach, but they get rich selling courses and books instead. When you receive financial advice from people, make sure you do your research and that they are showing you something that really works. The third type of financial route you can take is the fast lane. The fast lane is about creating businesses and entrepreneurship. Some examples of the fast lane can be a business you create, something you invent, a new software you develop, etc. The fast lane is about making yourself rich quickly, which is not the same as being rich easily. There will be a lot of work to do, and you can easily spend 10 years focusing on your business before reaching the type of success that you expect. The benefit is that once you reach the level you want, you'll have the freedom to do whatever you want for the rest of your life. The mentality of the fast lane requires for you to take responsibility. Being responsible is about admitting that you are wrong about something and improving yourself constantly. On the fast lane, you can increase your income and you can even duplicate them, but that's not possible on the slow lane. The next time that you go to the office, try and ask your boss to increase your salary from $2,000 to $4,000 per month, and you'll see what happens. When it comes to creating wealth, the goal is not to do the heavy work, but to create a system that does the job for you. Again, this is not about avoiding work, but to be smart enough to optimize and automatize your work. For instance, let's say that you need to build a pyramid with heavy stones. The slow lane focus would be to take the bricks yourself one at a time. Of course, that will take you ages if you follow this approach. The approach of the fast lane will be to spend the first years designing a system that moves the bricks for you, like some type of crane, and after the initial investment, the pyramid will be way easier and faster to construct once you have your machine. The key of the fast lane is to produce instead of consume. Instead of buying the products on the TV, sell the products. Instead of digging to find gold, sell the shovel. Instead of looking for jobs, create jobs and hire people. When you change your mindset from a consumer to a producer, you'll join the fast lane to create wealth quickly. You could think that rich people are greedy, but in reality, poor people are the greedy ones. If you think about it, you'll realize that in order to be rich, you have to help other people. You have to give something back, build something for everybody. You have to improve something in the society, produce something, invest in something. Poor people are the greedy ones because they only produce for themselves and only think about themselves. Another interesting topic that the author talks about for being rich is called the effect law. This law states that in order to earn $1 million, you have to help 1 million people. The more people you help, the more you give to people, the more you'll receive. You might think that this doesn't make any sense as how helping other people can make me richer. For instance, if I'm going out and give $1,000 to 100 people, how this is going to make me rich? Well, you're right. That wouldn't make you rich. In fact, this is a very bad way of giving and helping people. It's most likely that the people that receive that money from you will go and buy something that they don't even need. Then the question is, what is a good way of giving? Let's suppose that you create a pill that cures an illness, or you create a product that helps elderly people. That would be a good example of giving something back to the community. That's why Jeff Bezos is richer than the lady you saw in the post office the other day. Bezos created Amazon, which helped millions of people around the world to buy almost anything in a secure, easy, and fast way. But the lady from the post office is mainly helping herself and her family. Please, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong about it, and I am not trying to underestimate the work of the post office lady. If she wants to help herself and her family, that's fine. But according to the effect law, she won't be rich as she's not making a big impact and changing many people's lives in a positive way. On the second part of the book, the author mentions 5 rules that you must follow if you want to build a successful business. You can use this as a checklist for existing businesses to see how strong is your business base. If you analyze any successful business, 9 out of 10, they follow these rules. The first rule is need. The only reason that a business exists is to satisfy a need and solving a problem. Money is exchanged where the problems are resolved. If you resolve a problem, facilitate things, offer a better service, satisfy the needs than demand, then you fulfill the need rule. You might be thinking, well, that's something obvious and simple, but you'll be surprised. Especially nowadays, everyone is pushing to do what you love and follow your passion as if the market cares about that. The market doesn't care about that. If there's 10,000 personal trainers doing what they love, but there's only 10 people asking for that service, do you think that will pay the bills? The second rule is the entry barrier. This rule is about how easy or hard it is to enter the business. If anyone can start this business, then you're breaking the entry barrier rule. Again, if starting a business is as simple as completing a form online, you're breaking the rule, as the essence of entrepreneurship is to solve problems, and the problem you're solving should at least have some complexity. In fact, complex problems create opportunities for businesses. If you are one of those that analyze potential ideas and it's always complaining that it's too hard, then you are not interested in solving real problems. You are just looking for an easy way to make money. The first one, create millionaires. The second one, create money chasing people. The third rule that the author mentions is control. The control rule is like the ground where you build your business. Is it rented or controlled by another person? Can someone or some business remove the carpet behind your feet and cause a commercial catastrophe? One day, you're earning $10,000 and the next day nothing. If 100% of your customers come from a free search from Google, if that's the case, then you're breaking the control rule. A change in Google algorithm can kill your business. If 99% of your sales come from one platform, then you're breaking the control rule. YouTube can kick you out of the platform without any notice or explanation, and as a result, your company goes from having lots of zeros to have only 0 without you doing anything wrong. That's why the author of the book recommends to not only depend on a third party. The fourth rule is scalability. How easy it is to escalate your product or service? Please do not confuse this with the entry barrier rule, which is the initial entry. In business, escalating consists in replicating a solution to a difficult problem. For instance, if you create a software service that solves an issue with the dental industry, for example, your solution could take 3 months to build, but the difference on building a solution that serves 10 customers and 1,000 customers doesn't have a direct correlation. In other words, it's possible to obtain 100 times the profit, but you don't have to work 100 times more. The last rule is time. According to this rule, your product or service should exist without being connected to you, and your product can be offered while you are away doing something else. The essence of the time rule is to stay away from the worst relationship ever created, which is exchanging your time for money. Every time there is a creative effort independent from you, it can also be sold independently of you without changing time for money. In other words, it should be something that you can manage passively. If you follow these 5 rules for your business, then you'll get results that will change your life. If you want to keep watching summaries of similar books on this channel, please make sure you give a like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching.